Fair warning, I'm in a bad mood, and I have a list as to why. Let's get into it.
Never gonna stop now, baby.
Well, let's get into the business side of things. I'll try to elevate my mood a little bit if I can. I'll do my very best, but it ain't good today, folks. So if you like my content, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Today is going to be a really good example of keeping it real. I'm just saying. Ooh. But yeah, if you're new around here, welcome to the Madhouse. Full disclaimer. But yes, please consider subscribing to my channel for more realness and more madness and more mayhem and more emotional stuff and more mental stuff, and then maybe we might just get to some carnivore stuff at the same time. I have ways that you can support me if you choose to do so. There is absolutely no obligation. I have Buy Me a Coffee, where you can just, anywhere between $5 or more if you want to. You can donate towards the equipment that I'm going to need in the future. There's the likelihood that I'll probably need a new wardrobe, and that's something I'm going to talk about. Yeah. And the other way that you can support me is through my designated PayPal account. Obviously, there's things like, super chat, super thanks, and all of that jazzola. But, AdSense take a fair chunk of percentage. Buy Me a Coffee takes less than AdSense, and the PayPal takes even less than that. So I'm trying to offer you ways to support me. If you choose to do so, then you can have options. So yes, today I am in a bad mood. I have a list. Right at the top is in a bad mood. I'm going to read you the list exactly as I've written it. Okay? Tired of BS, mine and others. Tired of I got there today. Tired of doing photos and measurements. Tired of measurements going up and down. I know that I'm inflamed. I can feel it in my body. And I know that my body is trying to heal. I know it. I'm tired of one of my kids being a total bore about doing the chores. I'm tired of the chores situation being a thing. It's a daily thing. I thought the only problem I had was, what's for dinner? You know that question? Yeah. We don't have that problem anymore. What we do have is this chores thing, and it's making me crazy. Further on to that, tired of trying to get my power back after being a mentally and emotionally absent parent. Yeah, that was a thing. But I am also tired of being told that I'm the one that has to be tougher to get that power back. Basically, I'm tired. I'm just tired. I honestly was going to sit here, after I've done this video, I was going to sit here and actually talk about the topic that I'm going to talk about on Thursday. No clues. But given the topic and given my mood, that would be bad. At least I've got the presence of mind to go, whoa there, horsey. Let's just, take a step back and let's not just get ahead of ourselves. Let's just wait until we're in a better mood, because it is a dicey subject. And I think it's going to be quite confrontational for some people. Look, at the end of the day, I reached a point where I was tired of hearing even my own excuses. Tired of the BS. We all have moments where we're like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of hearing that person's BS, right? But then we also get to that point too where we sort of like get tired of hearing our own BS, you know? But it's other people's. Oh, I mean, I had a teary, my poor husband. I said, I just wish I've got, I have empathy. I'm not going to make apologies for it. I have empathy. And I don't know if any of you have seen, which one was it now? A Star Trek movie, Next Generation movie, First Contact, I believe it was. And Data had turned his emotion chip on. They're going through the corridors of the ship, and Data is actually describing a feeling of fear, right? And Picard says, I think for now, Data, it might be a good idea to turn your emotion chip off. So he just goes like that and turns it off. Jealous. Wish I could do that. I really do. I just wish I could not care for a minute. Like, just totally cut that out just to get some peace. I know that my cortisol levels, I've been very stressed in the last few weeks. I know that I'm inflamed. I can see it on the numbers, but I can feel it too. And I think it's also to do with, I think I mentioned that, my steaks getting cooked in that air fryer and the Teflon coating. I think it has to do with me trying to get that out of my system because I just don't feel right. I don't feel right. It's going to take some time, I think, for that to stabilize. And I've only been on this for 30 weeks now. I have to be mindful of that. I am impatient and I have empathy. And, I also know the value of, if you've seen my last video, of what it means to have your cage rattled. And I'm just wondering, does that kind of work for other people that need to have their cage rattled? And I will cover this on Thursday, but, the carnivore lifestyle, it's at its very core, it demands that the body gets healed. And I'm grateful that that first part that gets healed is the fog lifts. You get some clarity. Your mental health gets better. But if it's not, I don't know, is eating the meat enough? Is that enough? I don't think it is. I don't think eating the meat is enough. You see, my cage rattling happened in October 2022. And that was one thing. But in the last 6 months, when I look at how many of those emotions I have leaned into and faced, because this lifestyle actually demands that of us. Am I in a place whereby if something goes wrong, I can go to the hospital now? Yep. But that's taken work. I'm already starting to think, okay, so there's Costco and there's the local shopping centre, North Lakes. They both have scooters available whereby I'm 20 kilos under the maximum weight. And we are currently in the process of moving to another bank because our current bank is just like, Now, my husband was able to go up there and open the account, and that was fine. But in order for me to go onto the account, I'm going to physically have to go up there. So I called the shopping centre to find out if they have the scooters. They do. I'm now at that point where it's like, right, well, you know what? In the next few weeks, that's what we're going to do. He said, what? I said, I'm going to book a scooter. I'll have it for 3 hours. And we'll do the account thing and maybe have a little speed demon around the place and have a look at all the shops, which I haven't done. Does that fill me with dread going out into the public? Yep. Of course it does, but I'm going to face it like I do everything else. Right there in my face. Because the anxiety, the social anxiety, and the healing of that is all part of this. It has to be. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm going to say it. I'm gonna Rossi Woods that. Yeah, there I said it. If all you're doing is eating the meat and you're doing nothing else for your mental health and you're not facing your demons, then you're phoning it in. And it really is just a diet. This is a lifestyle. It can't be a lifestyle until you lean into it and start facing stuff you need to face. That's just how I feel. That's where I am. I'm frustrated because I know I've only been on this for 30 weeks, but I will do absolutely anything I can to get back out there into the world again. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for why I can't. This is what I mean by I'm tired of my own BS. I spent years sitting here going, well, I can't do this, or this is going to happen, and then I'll have to do that. I'm not interested in those excuses anymore. I am just not interested, and it frustrates me when I see other people doing the same thing. It's like, get out of your own way. I got out of mine. If I can do it, anybody can. And it's you that's doing the work. Plain and simple. It's you that's doing the work. But to what degree? See what I mean by bad mood? I get very confrontational when I get like this. And if you saw my last video, you will know what I mean by when I say, call Reuters. Who knew that I can be bossy? Who knew that I can be confrontational? Such traits do make enemies. I do make enemies that way. But I don't care. That I don't care about, because if it's something you need to hear, then it's something you need to hear. You can't keep running. You just can't. It'll serve you well for a while, of course. Of course it will. Look at how long I avoided all of that heavy-duty stuff. Totally avoided it. Shut the door on it. You're avoiding the inevitable. And you need to get yourself sorted. Otherwise, like I said, you're just phoning it in. You're phoning it in. The inflammation is not just as a result of the food you put in your body. I really don't believe that. The inflammation can be mental health. It can be emotional as well. Cortisol levels, stress levels, whatever you like. All of it has the potential to shoot yourself in your own foot. And I'm not interested in doing that anymore. And it breaks my heart when I see other people doing what I did. Now I know how Adrian felt. This is vile to see somebody going through this. It's horrible. It is horrible. And Adrian's right. I just want to grab them by the shoulders and go, would you just wake up? And then as soon as I've thought that, I'm like, oh God, I just wish I didn't care. I just to not care for 5 minutes would be great, frankly. It just would be great. So I guess you want to see some photographs. Captain Cuck isn't in the mood today, so he won't be around. It'll just be me. I'm just not feeling it today. Yeah. Let's just cue that montage, shall we? No matter what happens, I'm always going to take photographs. I'm always going to do the measurements. I'm always going to weigh in. No matter what. I'm always going to do this montage for you guys. Always. I need to do it. And you like seeing it. So I'm going to continue to do it. But that doesn't mean to say that, this was I think for the first time in 30 weeks, today was the day I just went, oh, I'm so sick of taking these photographs. I am so sick of doing the measurements. I'm so sick of seeing these measurements going like this, up and down, up and down. Would you just go down? Do something consistent. I know that for the most part, I have been, where the weight is concerned, I know that the downward consistency has been there. I know that. But it's slowing down. But I also know that I'm trying to heal from whatever, probably the Teflon. But, today, I think to get to 30 weeks and just go, oh, I'm so tired of it all. I think I'm allowed to after 30 weeks. I think I'm allowed. Doesn't mean to say that I'm giving in. No, 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 no. No, I've got this under my skin now. I can't not do it. My husband's gone off to the shops to get some bits and pieces. He said, I'm going to Woolworths. Do you want anything? I went, yeah, I do. Little Miss Meat Aversion wants a big T-bone steak. He went, what? I said, yep. He said, you sure you don't want? No, I do not want flipping porterhouse. I want a T-bone steak. Because I know it's all beef, but there's something different about the taste of different cuts. I don't know if you can detect that difference, but I do. I don't know why. I just do. Porterhouse steak? No. Scotch fillet? Yeah, maybe I could. Scotch fillet would be nice. But porterhouse steak? No, not for a little bit. Need a break. I can eat beef mince, which is great. We had smash burgers last night, which was part beef mince, pork mince, and bacon. Went down a treat. I actually added knobs of butter on top. Yum, yum. And salt, of course. But yeah, I'm really going to be taking a few days now, tomorrow being Tuesday, and then Wednesday. I'm going to go to my other happy place and transfer more videos of my mother, because that seems to be giving me a lot of joy. Go figure. Just a little over 2 years ago, I couldn't do that. So go figure that now it's like, oh, I can't wait to transfer another video and watch my mummy sing. See what happens? When you lean into it and face it, you can come out the other end of it and actually, having made some peace with it because you've faced it, you are the one that ends up sitting pretty on top. What can I tell you? You may not like it when somebody rattles your cage. You don't have to like it. Of course you don't. But, be honest with yourself. Stop BSing yourself. Stop BSing everyone around you, because we already know. Because, there's a time when you just end up running out of excuses. Surely. You run out of ways of giving excuses to other people, and then you run out of ways of giving excuses to yourself. That's where I am. It's like, yeah, I'm not interested in that anymore. Get over it. Get stuck into it. If you've chosen this to be your lifestyle, then buckle up, because this is not going to be, I can't say cakewalk anymore. This is not going to be a meat walk. You know it. I know it. Come on now. Tough love. Being kind to yourself does include being tough with yourself, to be kind to yourself. And that takes courage. I get that. But it has to be done, because the buck stops with you. Buck stops with you. There's no need to make excuses for why you can't do something in order to prevent you from doing what's needed. There are no excuses. There aren't. There aren't any. And that's where I am. I'm like, yep, there's no excuses. I've been with that for a while, though. The buck stops with me. It was initially, I am responsible for the food I put in my gob. And that's true. Now I've got control of that. Now it's time to take responsibility for one's own emotions, one's own mental state, and trying to sort it out, because there are certain things that just will not stand, and it can't. You've got to have that gauge of self-worth for yourself. You are enough. Come on now. Stop. Just stop making excuses. You are enough. You're entitled to have the life you want. Just stop making excuses. Because you just end up sabotaging yourself then, don't you? Yeah. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Where you are. Are you just eating the meat and avoiding the emotions and mental stuff? Or are you all in? I'd love to hear from you. As hard as it may be to admit, but I would love to hear from you. I think on that note, I'm going to go and desensitize for a little bit. Maybe have a cup of coffee. Binge watch something, or, I'm currently watching Ghost Whisperer. I'm getting a lot out of it. So in the meantime, I'd like you to be kind to those around you. Protect your peace. Don't take any crap. Really now. But that has to be, don't take crap from others, but don't take it from yourself either. Come on now. And protect your peace, even if that means a little honest self-tough love. I'll see you Thursday. Love you guys.